All right, what's up, everybody? We are not live. I've gotten away from doing that because I keep saying we're live, but we're not live. Um, so welcome everybody to another episode of Retro Hoop Collectibles. This is another interview that I have today. I'm really getting good about doing these. I like doing these. These are fun. And so my guest today is actually somebody that I have. You guys know I don't consume a whole lot of hobby content on YouTube. Mainly just because of the time. I just don't really have a whole lot of time to consume content. But one of the things that I was trying to do was do some research on starting a baseball PC, and I came across my guest's channel today. I'm actually very excited to talk to him about some very specific stuff because his channel is kind of centered around a very specific topic within the hobby. So, as those of you know who create content, those of you who may or may not create content within the hobby on YouTube, we're a niche thing as it is. And my guest today has a kind of a very specific thing within the hobby, which is a very interesting topic. So, without further delay, I'll bring in today's guest, my man Victor, the rookie card specialist. Vic, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, brother Omar. Thank you so much for having me on the show, man.
Absolutely, man. I'm super excited because there's been a lot of stuff going on recently. With what PSA just recently did about the star cards. Me and my man JD, we did a little video the other day talking about that. But you have some very specific information. You did a great video, which I'll link in the description, on the 84, 85 star and just all the star set. You laid out the whole thing. It was a great video. So I want to give you a few minutes before we even get into this conversation. I'll just give you a few minutes to kind of tell everybody, who you are, what your channel is about, and kind of introduce yourself to those who may not be familiar with your content.
Yeah, cool. Well, I started collecting in 1981, and it was the 80s was basically what we call the rookie card boom. It's everything in the 80s was rookie cards, and even you had everybody and their grandma was chasing rookie cards, and it's one of them things where it left such an impact on me because I collected between 1981 and about 2004. 2004 I stopped collecting, and I was just really frustrated with the hobby and how the rookie card had evolved. By the early 2000s with Ichiro and Albert Pujols, there was just so much product being released. And as a rookie card collector, I grew up where you collected everything. You collected all the rookie cards, but back then there was only 3 product lines. And by the time you get to the early 2000s, there was 40, 50, 60 different sets every year. And the mistake I made was I was trying to pick everything up, and it just consumed me.
Yeah.
And I ended up leaving the hobby. I had 5 children, and I needed to I was running around doing a lot of card shows on the weekend, and things had just come to a head for me, and I left the hobby in 2004. Unfortunately, one of my biggest regrets was I sold everything when I decided to step down. And I ended up just kind of doing my thing with my job and raising my family. And well, we get to the point now where my kids are getting older, and a lot of them have left the home already, and it's one of them things where my wife and I have a little bit more discretionary income and a little bit more time. And I was talking to a mentor friend of mine one time, and I was just in a season of life where I was just a little dry, man, to be honest with you. And I was talking to my mentor, and he basically, we were just talking one night, and it's like, man, what kind of hobbies do you have? He says, I've known you for years, and all you do is work, and life isn't always work. You got to learn how to relax and find something that you enjoy doing. So, I set off I tried golfing, and I tried fishing and all of that, but man, that's to me was just didn't do it.
Yeah.
And so I remembered baseball card, right? So I go to YouTube one night and I punch in baseball cards. And what YouTube gives me, I don't know if you're familiar with a channel called Baseball Card, Baseball Card Junkies TV with Nate.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, that's
good...
the first channel that YouTube served me, and I watched that first video with Nate, and they were talking about rookie cards of the 1980s, and
you were hooked.
I was hooked. I'm back. and that was around 2014 when I did that.
Okay.
So I'm excited, and I start getting back into it, and I end up finding that I'm going to fire up my old eBay account. You know what? I started my eBay account in 2001, but like I said, I left the hobby in 2004. But I went back to eBay, and I wanted to pick up guys that I like and that I knew. We're big Cubs fans here at my house, so I wanted to start picking up cards of like Chris Bryant and Javi Baez and them kind of guys. Well, I go on eBay, man, and I'm searching for the rookie cards, and there was a 5-year window of cards from like 2010 to 2015 listed on eBay, all of them saying rookie card in the listing, in the headings.
Yeah,
and I'm like, I know I've been gone a while, right? But something has definitely changed, because how in the heck can somebody have so many rookie cards? And that just started. I started digging into this thing a little bit more, and ended up starting. What I ended up finding out was there was a lot of people that were in the same position I was. People that were coming back to the hobby, and they were frustrated, and they were more confused than ever with the state of the rookie card, because it seemed like anything and everything is considered a rookie card. And I noticed that on some of the cards, it had like a little RC logo on them. So I started doing some research on websites and forums and that kind of thing, started asking around, and I started a website in 2016, and I started recording like all my findings on how the rookie card had evolved. And I just really dove into the research and devoted my time to learning the history of the rookie card and how it's changed over the years. And my website kind of became my platform for all my findings. And
is that still live, that website?
Yeah, it's still live. TrueRookieCards.com. And so that's when I started to do the research, and I ended up finding out so much interesting things on how this evolved. And it's really where it led me to start my own YouTube channel in 2020.
Here it is.
Yeah. Yep.
TrueRookieCards.com. Yeah, we'll link that down the bottom for everybody to check out.
Yep. And there I explain kind of the process that I present, the proposal of how I figure out rookie cards. And basically it all starts with what I call the 10 commandments of the rookie card. And it's basically the rules that were given to the hobby in 2005 by the Players Association. And then the second set of 5 are the rookie card guidelines that the hobby had established back in the day, but still carry weight today. And so that's how I try to identify and properly identify rookie cards. And I funnel them through that 10 commandments. And then I give them an identifier right here, rookie card, rookie.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
Rookie card, pre-rookie card, rookie year card.
Right.
Okay.
And post-rookie theme. Yep.
Post-rookie. Okay. Post-rookie theme. That's an interesting. Okay, we'll come back to that one. That one's interesting.
Yeah.
I wasn't aware of this that you had this website. This is really cool, because like we mentioned, there's a lot of kind of conversation that's happening right now about rookie cards in specific, right? That are very driven. So that's cool. We'll make sure to link that down at the bottom so everybody can have that. So you get back in it, you figure out that rookie cards are a debacle. You want to try to piece this story together for everybody, and then the natural progression there onto YouTube.
Yep.
Okay. That's interesting, man. Yeah, because this, I mean, I think one of the big things that like attracts everybody. I had this conversation with Mike from Bench Clear, and he said, you want to do one of two things: you're either entertaining or you're in being informative, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you're lucky, you get to do both. You get to entertain and inform all at the same time, and typically that's sort of the mark of a good content creator, somebody who's able to do both, right? Entertain and inform. And I've found both of those things in your channel. We were just talking about it a little bit offline here, where I was like, man, you're so polished in the way that you make your content. It's that I wish I had a little bit of that, being able to kind of keep things segmented the way you do. And I think that's why it was so easy to go down a rabbit hole in your channel, because that first I came across your channel because I was looking for I was looking to start picking up my first baseball cards. I'm a basketball guy, 100%. I didn't grow up watching baseball. I'm from Houston, so the Astros really, 2004, 2005 with the Killer Bees, that was one thing. But then, yeah, we just really, I wasn't really a big baseball guy. I grew up in the inner city, so it was always either basketball or football, one of the two, So I gravitated towards basketball, and I just grew up playing it, watching it, loving it as a kid, and even now as an adult. But when I wanted to get into was, my Astros, I realized one thing: everybody hates them, and because of that, they're really cheap. And so I went through, and I was telling JD from Card Hedge, I said, man, I actually saw Yordan Alvarez. And I've been around football players and stuff like that before, but Yordan Alvarez is an absolute monster when you see him in person, like just the size of this man. And I was always left with how impressive he was as just a specimen, right? So when I got back into it, I said, that's who I want to collect as my first baseball PC. Well, I got into that and I started looking around, Yordan Alvarez rookie cards. And, there was 2018, 2019. There's Bowman, there's Topps Chrome, there's Topps Update, there's
yeah.
I was just like, what do we do? I thought a rookie card was like the rookie year and like, that's it.
Right. Right.
And I stumbled across your video that you did specifically on that. And I never understood that. Why is, and I've only seen that in baseball, really. I don't think I see that in basketball. Basketball is pretty cut and dry, right? Yeah. Kobe's year 96 or 97, 96, 97, 97, 98. 2009, 2010. Those are like, especially in football. Football, there seems to be no ambiguity, right? It's the season is contained within a year. So, the 2017 rookie year for Patrick Mahomes. That's it. There's no.
Yeah. They typically they don't have a minor league system. Typically, when them guys are drafted, they're immediately on the team and immediately put to work.
That's
baseball,
true.
Baseball, not the case. Baseball, you go to the minor leagues in 2, 3, sometimes even 4 years before you actually get the call to come up.
That's true. I didn't even think about that. Okay, so then does that mean that their rookie year, technically when they get drafted, I mean, they're professional players, right? I mean, they got drafted by the team, they're professional players, but they're not in Yordan's case. So let's use Yordan's case as a good, I guess, a case study, if you want to call it. And again, if you guys want to go watch the video, I'll link it down in the bottom, and that really cleared up a lot of stuff for me. Because I was thinking to myself, because Yordan is what, 2019, right? Yeah. So his top
20. He came into the league in 2019,
right?
But his rookie cards weren't until 2020.
Until 2020. But there was something very, very specific about Yordan in the way that happened, though, right? Something with his contract or something like that.
Yeah, it's all in the way that he was brought into the league. So he was signed by the Dodgers and immediately traded to Houston. But they passed the deadline. See, what happens is the Players Association meets with the leagues before the season starts, and they have a discussion about, okay, who's going to be the rookies this year, and then they formulate this date, typically in the middle of the season, somewhere in the middle of the season, where, okay, this is the deadline. Any rookies coming in after this date, you have to get our permission first. You can't just throw them in your baseball product sets
Ah,
at will. You have to, but after this date, you need our permission to do so. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to make sure, is the guy going to get at least 130 at bats? Is he at least going to play in 45 games? If that's the case, then you can go ahead and make rookie cards of him. And
ah,
so he came in under a pre-arbitration eligible, which means he came in under an exclusive contract. He didn't enter the MLB via the draft. Okay, so
mm,
that was kind of since he didn't enter the draft and had an exclusive contract, they had to get permission by the PA, and they did that, but the PA said, sorry, it's past the
it's
deadline.
too late.
It's too late. You got to
Mm,
wait until January 1st, 2020 in order for you to legally print rookie cards of this young man.
wow, that's
And
interesting.
yeah.
So so baseball has it down to the at bats, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. You got to have, in order to qualify as a rookie, you got to have a certain number of at bats, and you got to play in a certain amount of games, consecutive games, I believe it is, for you to be a rookie.
Is there any other? I mean, I can't imagine the NBA or the NFL is like that. I mean,
No, I don't
well,
believe
especially
so.
because they're draft based, right?
Yeah, I believe hockey has something similar
Ah, okay,
in there, because they have like a junior league
yeah,
as well, but they don't send everybody there like they do in baseball.
interesting. See, I can definitely see where there's, because it's funny. So in basketball, there's that one season, the was it the holdout season, or the where they were protesting or something like that, like there was like contract issue. I think it's 2011, 2012, somewhere around there. I think it was Anthony Davis's rookie card, Kawhi Leonard's rookie card. There's a couple of guys that, like, it was like the 2011, 2012 season was like, because of contract holdouts, or there was something wrong, something going on with the NBA PA. I would have to go back and do some research on this, but I know for a fact that there's 2 years, or I believe it's 2012, 2011, 2012 card, runs that you can get rookies from the 2010, 2011 season, because there was no season that season, or it was like a half a season or something like that. So none of their rookie cards were in that product. They were all in the next year's product. So they were all crammed in at the same time. And I'm wondering if there had to have been something with the with the NBA PA. I'm going to do some research on that. That's going
Yeah,
to
I'm
be
gonna have to also. I'm not familiar. I kind of heard something about it, but the details I don't know.
yeah,
What we got to understand is, when we're dealing with the legalities of a rookie card, we're talking about, there is a process. There's a legal authority that is set in place under union contracts,
yeah,
union atmosphere, and there's a right way and a wrong way of doing just about anything when you're dealing with a union organization.
yeah,
And so those are there's the union organization has its advantages and disadvantages, and
right.
they do provide high wages, they do provide structure and stability, but at the same time they're very strict on processes and procedures.
Hmm.
And they have side attachments where they can make exceptions to certain rules, but again, even those have a process and a
Right,
procedure.
right, right, right. Yeah, there's a lot of red tape
Yes.
involved, It's like
Yep.
every rule has its exception, but even that exception has, like, the process to get that exception has, has
Yeah.
its own red tape to go through.
But to
That's
be
so
honest with you,
interesting.
in hindsight, when I think about it, the Players Association getting involved in 2005, it's been a really good thing, to be honest with you, because for so long these companies were printing rookie cards of these players years in advance, and they were putting in players in sets, and these players didn't even step foot on a major league game or an NBA game, and they were creating rookie cards of these guys already. And there was just so much corruption, and then they came in, and there was just so much what they called consumer confusion going on around 2004. That's when they decided in 2005 to step in and say, hey, wait a minute. Going forward, we're gonna change things up here, and there has to be a certain way of doing things. So
there needs to be some kind of governance, right?
Yes,
yes, and figure that out.
And it was, in hindsight, and I've had the opportunity to even talk with Dr. Beckett, who was involved in that transition. But even he says at the time he was against it, but in hindsight, looking back at it now, he believes, and I believe myself, that it was a step in the right direction, because it has tightened the belt a little bit on these manufacturers going crazy.
Yeah, and if anything, it just provides a little bit of stability within, or I wouldn't say stability, but at least there's a standard, right, by which everything is going to work, right? If not, then you just end up with a bunch of cowboys, like you said, printing stuff that things don't even matter. Like you said, guys that never touch the field or touch the court, or even touch the diamond, and you end up overprinting this stuff. People end up buying it. It ends up being trash at the end of the day, and then the consumer confusion, along with the bad taste in your mouth of ending up with so many cards that just ended up being trash, that it probably would have done the hobby a lot of harm. Had somebody not stepped in and said, hey, this is, we have to regulate the way this happens. Otherwise, we're all going to lose at the end of the day, and it's, I'm with you. In some instances, you need that governance to come in and set some standards so that everybody at least is on a level playing field. But that's very interesting. Man, this is like super educational for me, because
and today, the problem with the PA's involvement is that they wrote the guidelines very, very broad, very universal per se. Okay. And so now card manufacturers, they find the gray area, right? And they kind of twist things a little bit to where they're kind of flirting with violating the guidelines, but they're really not. And what they do is they create a lot of these gimmicks and a lot of, you name it. I mean, there's a litany of little gimmicks that they play with the rookie card. And what's happening is that, we have history where there's a lot of rookie card purists, okay? Myself being one of them. And I'm talking guys probably between the ages of 40 on up. There's a lot of rookie card purists that we still believe in, the way things used to be is important to the hobby. Like a rookie card should be in the base set, that a rookie card should come in pack form with national distribution, that a rookie card should never be an insert card or a subset card, and it's little stuff that still carries weight within the hobby in some circles. Well, we've, card manufacturers today have twisted that. And what's happening is they don't follow the guidelines that the hobby has. They only follow the guidelines that they legally have to follow. And so
whatever maximizes the profits, right?
So our history and our way of doing things and the way we've evolved the rookie card as a hobby, all of that is out the window. That don't matter. Now everything is plastered with a rookie card. Everything, like these, Topps exclusives where you can only buy something on Topps website.
Or Fanatics.
Historically, that has never. Are you kidding me? That's not going to work.
They do that quite a bit, especially like for me, for example, this year. Well, in this product year, let me say that. One of my favorite players coming out, one of the kids that I'm following, I'm probably going to follow him for the rest of his career, is Alperen Şengün from my Rockets. And my favorite product out of any Panini product, and I've said this before and I stand by it, is NBA hoops, because NBA hoops is it's what you would have gotten in 1991 when they first came out. Like that was the base of the base of the base sets. Like there was nothing, and to collect your rookies from that set was your only rookie cards that was available. I mean, Fleer and Hoops at one point were the only two companies that had the NBA license. And so, still to this day, the stuff that I like to rip the most is NBA Hoops, even though it's a Panini product, and actually, work on picking up all the rookies from that year, because that's the first rookie card, the first official rookie card that comes out where they're in their professional jerseys, as opposed to, like all the draft product that they put out and all that other stuff. I mean, I don't really get into that, but I mean, to me, it's like you said, it has to be a base set. I unknowingly stuck to that for whatever reason, right? Because it's base set rookie cards to me that have a lore for me, even though, maybe the hobby's moved on to something else, right?
Yeah.
But it's just, I don't know. There's something about paper, like there's like this whole stack is all rookie cards, and it's all base, we're talking base set stuff. There's no shiny here. There's no chrome. There's no, this is all. The only thing I wish it had is, well, I was going to say stats, but, because even back in the day, the base rookie cards would have college stats on the back. And that's another way that you knew that it was a first year rookie card, because there was no NBA stats on it, so that's kind of interesting. But so I'm looking at the 10 commandments that you have here on your, and let me bring this up, because I think this is interesting. Is this 10 commandments that you have up here, is this something that you came up with? Is this something that kind of leans more towards that original rookie card way of thinking, or is this something that you grabbed from somewhere, as far as like what the Players Associations has put out?
That's a great question. So commandments 1 through 5 are what the Players Association gave us. Now, in my research, as I was inside of forums and asking questions inside of forums, I had one specific gentleman says, look up Baseball Beckett magazine, issue number 247, released October of 2005, and that's going to explain it to you. And so I sought that issue out. Let me show it to you here. I got it right here.
Oh, you got. I would imagine that's like your handbook, right? Like that's your Bible.
Yeah,
that's awesome, man. So hold on. We gotta get this up here.
Yeah,
we gotta get this up here for sure.
Yeah,
there you go.
So, is the rookie card broken? That's the article.
That's awesome that you have that.
Yeah, they go on. Mike Payne ended up writing an article, a 6-page article detailing the press release by the Players Association back in 2005. And this is where he kind of gave you, unfortunately, you can't find this stuff anywhere. This was the only place that I really found this information, because it's been, try to search it on the internet. It's like, it doesn't exist.
And even if it does, it exists in some scanned PDF, JPEG that's not searchable through Google or anything like that, right?
Yeah. And so I ended up reading this article, dissecting this article, and I ended up plucking these 5 rules from this article. The second set of 5 is what the hobby has established as a rookie card, and this goes back to the 1980s. And there were many more rookie card guidelines in the 80s, but they've become obsolete. They no longer really apply in today's hobby, but these specific 5 definitely do.
Update and may not have any other rookie cards issues without that same product line. Interesting. So that makes a lot of sense now. I was reading number 8. That's the reason why it stood out to me. Because part of what I was stumbling around with when I was looking for Yordan stuff is, what's the difference between a Topps update, a Topps traded, or a similar extended set must not have any other cards issued within that same product line?
Yeah. And that's where you'll see, they'll put a rookie in Topps Series 1. They'll put the same rookie in Topps Series 2. They'll put the same rookie in Topps Update. Well, I mean,
Ah.
Topps
And when you say the
update.
same, you mean the same card, same picture, and same everything, right?
No, they're typically different cards, but they're going
Okay.
to have a rookie card logo on them.
Gotcha. I gotcha.
And it's like,
And
what?
so this is saying that only one of them can have that.
Correct. Historically and traditionally, only one card is going to get the identifier, and it's the first card that's released in that set.
Which should typically be the base set, right?
Correct. Correct.
Interesting.
It can't be a league leader card or a subset type of card. It can't be a rookie debut. Those don't qualify.
Yeah.
And these updates and traded sets are an extension of the base set. So,
Yeah.
to me, the update and traded sets are not, they don't really qualify as true rookie cards.
What's interesting is that in basketball, if you're looking at, for example, like a 1991 hoops set, there's two series, series 1, series 2. Series 1 is where you would find all of the Hall of Famers, the current rosters, things like that. All your rookies would be found in series 2. So any rookie that you were going to pull, you were going to pull it from your series 2 set, which is interesting because as basketball cards got more and more popular, as things got further along, the technology got a little bit better with the printing and the card stock and all that other stuff. All of your inserts, like your really high-end inserts, things that, that are now extremely collectible, were in your series 1 sets, and then all your rookies when you're in series 2 sets. So now, for example, I just finished a set of Power in the Key for 93-94 Fleer Ultra basketball. All of those cards came in that series 1 set. Well, right now, if you want to buy a box of series 1, because everybody knows that the inserts are in there, it's almost double or triple the price for a wax box of series 1. However, go to a 92-93 Stadium Club set, which is Shaquille O'Neal's rookie year. The series 1 is not that valuable. It's the series 2 because that's where the rookie cards are at.
Yep.
So every single one of them had a different value, and I'm liking it a lot more, liking it much to what these updated and these tradeds and all this other stuff was, because the first set that was going to come out and then would ultimately have, the current rosters, Hall of Famers, all that stuff, any inserts that you were going to have. And then that updated set would have any new players. Is that how it works here for this one as well?
Yeah. Okay. Very similar.
Interesting. A lot of parallels. That's interesting. Okay, I would have never, because I always wondered why. Because when I was looking for Alvarez, and I just typed in RC rookie card rookie in eBay, and aside from getting the 2 years, right, which is the 19 and then the 20, I think there was some Bowman. There's some Bowman stuff for 19, and then Topps was all the 2020 stuff. I was also seeing updated, traded, and then there was another one that was like a winter set, and then there's like, there's like 5 or 6 different sets, and I was thinking to myself, well, I know some of this goes on in basketball, but I have no idea that this carried over into baseball as well. Which is that those winter sets, are those also meant to be like their own base set, or is that part of the update and all that?
Yeah, those are the winters. Man, I don't know much about them. I know I was looking at a winter set the other day, and those are typically
like special inserts or something like that.
There was a special, the way they were distributed was different. So they don't really, what disqualifies them is their distribution.
They're not nationally distributed
properly. Correct.
Got it. So these top 5 here, and I stopped sharing. Hold on, give me 1 second, because this is interesting. A rookie card must be licensed by both the league and the Players Association. That's rule number 1.
Yep.
So off top, if it's not NFL or NBA, PA, if you don't see that logo on the back, then it's not legit. Which in this case, yeah, both of them there. Okay. A rookie card can only be released after a player has made a pro level roster. Now that's the one that I have, that there could be some ambiguity in it, because what's a pro level roster? Is that because minor leagues, the guy's getting paid to play? That's a professional, right? I mean, is there some detail behind what constitutes a pro level roster?
Yeah, and this is the whole reason why the PA got involved again, because they were releasing these guys when they were prospects. the PA's definition of pro level is when they actually become union members. Now they don't become union members until they're officially on a roster.
I read somewhere that it's also identified as the highest level, which in this, I mean, you could go double A, triple A, single A, double A, triple A, and then the big leagues, right?
Yep.
Interesting. Okay, and I'm reading these top 5 off for a reason, because we're going to get into the discussion about this Jordan situation here in a second. A rookie card must be branded with some type of identifier on the card. However, just because it's branded with its identifier doesn't make it necessarily true. It must also meet the rest of the criteria for a true rookie card designation. Interesting.
And that's my additional commentary that I included on the parentheses. But yeah, that was one of the things that the PA wanted. They wanted some type of identifier on the card front signifying that it was a rookie card.
Okay. Number 4, a non-pro roster player can appear on insert cards without the rookie identifier. A non-pro roster player. Okay, so somebody in a minor league and
right. So you think of let's think of a subset inside of Bowman's Best. They're going to have a subset, an insert set called Talent Pipeline, and they're going to have all of the prospect players, all the draft players, all the talent that's coming up. But you look at those cards; they don't have a rookie card logo on them.
They're not rookie cards,
and that's because legally they can't.
Yeah, they haven't made it to they don't have number 2.
Correct.
Right? Because it's all pro level. And technically they won't be in the PA because they're not part of the I guess the league yet.
And that's how come your 2018 Yordan Alvarez's and your 2019 Jordans, I mean, they're not they don't have the rookie card logo on them because technically they were not in the league yet. Yeah.
And then the last one here that you pulled from the Beckett magazine is a non-pro roster player can be included in the base set as a rookie card with the consent of the Players Association. You talked a little bit about that when we were talking about that Yordan Alvarez.
Correct.
So they can offer an exception.
Yep.
Okay. A rookie card. So number 6, we'll go through these real quick. Number 6, the rookie card must appear in the base set. If a player has more than one card in the base set, the first appearance of that player shall be designated a rookie card.
That's the way that's the way we did it for decades, man.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, first card.
And not that the other ones are not cool to collect. It's not that. It's just it was one of them things where he's got 2 cards in the set. Which one is the rookie card? And the hobby at the time felt like both of them shouldn't have the RC designation.
Makes sense.
And yeah, it's the first one, right?
Yeah, should be the first one. Can you imagine if in today's modern card era, because I just got finished talking about how Hoops is the first set to come out with their pro uniforms on. Imagine the value shift if, because of the fact that was the first card with their pro uniforms on, that's the only card that was given the rookie card designation and everything else was just considered to be a nice card.
Yeah. No, and
bizarro world, man. That people would go nuts.
Yeah, they would.
Interesting. A rookie card must come from a product allocated in pack form and distributed nationally when released. Now, this number 7 is primarily one of the reasons why there is so much pushback on the star sets not being actual true rookie cards, correct?
Correct.
Because it wasn't distributed. Once again, man, I got to give you some props here on that video you did, because that's one of the big things that made me go, that's why there's such pushback,
right?
Because it wasn't distributed, right? I mean, the guy from Star just bought up the license for whatever he paid for it, probably pennies on the dollar, and basically sat in his garage and started printing stuff out, right?
Started selling them out of the trunk of his car.
Gotta respect the hustle, man.
Oh yeah, definitely.
All right, number 8, a player's rookie card that is part of an update trade. Oh, we just went through that one.
Yeah.
Number 9, cards from licensed or unlicensed manufacturers depicting players in minor league uniforms shall not be considered rookie cards. Okay. Yes. I wish I had them. And I just got finished cleaning off my desk. I had a lot more stuff that we could have. But this is one of the things that really pisses me off about Panini and this Prism draft stuff that they do.
Mm-hmm.
It's worthless. I mean, it's absolutely worthless. And by all intents and purposes, according to this, they slap a rookie card designation on it, the shield, the RC, but it's not. They're in uniforms. Matter of fact, I just ripped a box of look at this. This is a let's do this. I'll do you one better. Here we go. Sam Howell. I mean, plastered all over it. It's rookie card. It's got the rookie card shield up at the top here. You can't see it really well. Let me jump off from this for a second, because this is crazy to me. Plastered across the front, rookie with a rookie card shield. He's in his North Carolina uniform.
No, is that an insert or what is that?
No. This is base rookie card.
Out of what?
Out of what was it called? Panini Legacy.
Panini Legacy. Is that like a draft type product?
No. This isn't meant to be. This is because usually what it'll say is if it's a draft type product where it's meant to be collegiate uniforms, it'll say it and it'll say collegiate. But this is
and this has been my work, Omar, is I'm calling this stuff out. And this is where my content is designed to bring awareness, to bring a light on it, and to get the attention of the industry. And I have, there's the rookie card is in desperate need of reform, because the guidelines, the history, the tradition that we have of what a rookie card is has not been respected. No, it's not being respected, and it's being diluted. And the confusion now is higher than ever. And my cry is for rookie card reform. And that's where I propose to the industry the reasons why it needs to go under reform.
The
eBay listings are horrendous. So if you don't really know what you're doing, you're going to be buying something that's advertised as a rookie card, and
but it's really
isn't. And it isn't. Go talk to industry leaders and ask them what their definition of a rookie card is. You're going to get a wide variety of reasons. Nobody can really even give you a straight answer.
It's like the tax code.
Yeah. Beckett Publications, ComC, PSA, everybody has their own definition of what a rookie card is. And when you start talking to them about it, which I have, all you get is a bunch of ums, uhs, and you're going to, there's some similarities, but there's also a lot of doubt and confusion. There's no clarity as to what it is that we're looking at. But also, I mentioned earlier, the PA guidelines are just way too loose, and we got to tighten the belt a little bit. And I'm not proposing a narrow definition, because I don't want a narrow definition of a rookie card either. But I think too broad of a definition, which is what we got now, is not good either. So that there's we got to balance this thing out a little bit. And the biggest reason, Omar, that I'm really crying for rookie card reform is that the base rookie cards are being devalued. The base rookies are a mockery to certain hobbyists, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. That's once again, another one of the great videos that I watched that you did is talking about how the base rookie card it's almost just like it's a coaster now. You know what I mean? Like, nobody look, man, I still love them. I love them. This is what, you know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong. There's a certain allure, and there's a certain aesthetic to these beautiful chrome rookie cards with these dazzles. It's great, but that's not necessarily attainable for everybody. I mean, here I am. I've been on YouTube for almost 2 years now, a little over 2 years now. I still can't bring myself to really pay that amount of money for a card that's just dazzling and it's pretty. And
Right.
that's the only reason why I'm paying for that. I have so much fun with these paper cards, picking them
Yeah.
up, finding the other thing too is finding like really good examples of one, sending them off to get graded, getting that 10, you know. And one of the things that you mentioned about base rookie cards is how they can be a difference maker when you're making trades. When you're trading with somebody, maybe you got a couple of things, maybe you guys are a couple $100 apart on something, and then boom, all of a sudden you're sitting on all these really great players, rookie cards. Yeah, they're in base form, but they should still hold enough value to where they're at least revered enough to go, hey, that's oh man, that's a John Morant rookie card. Okay, yeah, it's a hoops, but man, it's a PSA 10 or a SGC 10. This is nice. All right, yeah, we can, that'll maybe cover the $100 difference or the $90 difference that
Sure.
we can't seem to come to terms with. And if you're a base card, box opener like myself, then you have very little invested in that card, and you pulled what's a seemingly a good player's rookie card. And man, I that part of that video really spoke to me, and I thought to myself, man, that's a really good, because what I like to do is when I'm ripping a whole lot, I have a whole box that I just label 2018-19 rookies, 2017-2018 rookies, and I'll put them all in there. And at the end of the year, as players maybe have their second or maybe third year, their sophomore and junior years as NBA players, some of those guys, man, they have breakout seasons, their second or third year into the league, that all of a sudden that $2 card is a $15 card. And I get excited because I get an opportunity to go through my box and go, oh man, look, I pulled out, I think it was like 20 to 25 Jordan Poole rookie cards. Jordan Poole was instrumental in this last finals to the Warriors doing as great as they did, and he's going to end up being a great player. I mean, he's under the tutelage of arguably the greatest shooter that we have ever seen in the game, and that kid's going nowhere but up. And here I am sitting on 20 to 25 of his rookie cards, base set though they may be, but still just as valuable and should be just as revered.
100% pure.
100% pure. That is legitimately his first rookie card.
Yeah,
his rookie card.
Yeah.
But man, as I'm reading through this, one of the things I wanted to talk with you about was this star card. But as I'm reading through these 10 commandments, which up until you brought them up right now, I wasn't unaware that you had these published. It makes a lot of sense, your stance on where you are with that.
Yeah,
because it's not nationally distributed. So talk a little bit about that for me real quick, because I think that's such an important distinction that we have to make between those two cards.
Yeah, the basically on the star, the history of it, and this is where I always, you talk about that one video is very polished and very well done, but it's really the whole gist of what I'm doing, Omar, is I'm looking at the past and present day status, all in an effort to better understand the rookie card today. And so, the hype machine kind of started generating some buzz around this star thing, right?
Yeah.
Which to me really gives off a stench of elitism. Okay, there's certain members of the hobby that they want this elite status. And to me, there's a lot of like self-serving agendas behind the scenes that made all of this happen.
Preach it to the choir, brother.
Yeah, and it's continuing to happen. Now we're starting to see it with the 2002 LeBron James. Now there's some more buzz being generated because he has 2 cards that were released in 2002. But they were like redemption cards. So now,
that's right, the tops.
Yeah. So now those are considered more like XRCs, and so now here we go with that.
Yeah.
And so, the pump, hype, and sell machine is active, man.
It's alive and well.
It's alive and well. But yeah, as I studied, and I grew up in this era, so I do have some familiarity with the situation. Truth be told, star cards, in the 80s and 90s. They were really like junk cards. They were like
Yeah.
cards that were not very well respected at all. And you know, Star did have the license for 3 years, and they
Hmm.
were fully licensed. So got to give them props for that. You see, but when we were trying to decipher what a rookie card is, a rookie card should follow the guidelines fully, not
Hmm.
partially.
Not partially.
And that's what we have with the Star card, where yes, it was licensed, yes, it was
Hmm.
Michael Jordan's rookie year, but it wasn't distributed properly. I mean, first, very few were ever even made. Yeah, I
Yeah.
believe that the estimated
Couple
print run on
thousand,
that,
right?
yeah, 5,000, I believe, for the
Yeah.
Star Jordan. But then, the distribution was in like polybag team sets. And
Mm.
then they were going to local card shows. Nobody was interested. No, thank you. You
Mm.
know, they would go trying to sell them at the arenas, and really just a real generic way of distributing these things. And that just doesn't work for
Yeah.
when you're talking for rookie card designation. And the quality of those cards were horrendous. The counterfeits that were
Yeah.
going on, in the where PSA didn't quit grading them. There was FBI investigations with
Yeah.
certain shenanigans that was going on.
Yeah. The
Just
Home Shopping Network. Hey, I
yeah,
found 10 grand in a warehouse somewhere.
yeah,
10,000 of these in a warehouse. Yeah, that is just crazy.
just a lot of shade
Yeah.
surrounding this.
Yeah.
Now, is it the 84 star a great card, man? It sure is, and I'm
Beautiful
not,
card.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm taking nothing away from it. But just now to try to discredit the Fleer now is where I have a little bit of heartburn, because now we're trying to rewrite history. And
Mm.
that's a little, the I don't know, it's just something, I guess, with our society. We want to rewrite the Constitution of the United States.
Yeah.
Is anything sacred
Yeah. What are we
anymore?
doing here? Yeah. Yeah. Long gone are the days, man. Long
Yeah,
gone
yeah.
are the days. But
So
even still, though, I mean, if you think about that 86 Fleer, it doesn't have the branding, right? The branding isn't there. Um, Non-player roster, pro roster is going to be included in base set. Okay, so that's fine. So one, two. So yeah, I mean, it's only missing one out of the five, right?
as on the 86 Fleer, you're saying?
On the 86 Fleer, yeah.
Yeah, well, that was, now you look at um really Fleer when they came on, that was like the first mainstream set that was produced after Star. There was
Oh, so none even before it at this
right,
point, right?
right.
Yeah, that's
Top didn't
true.
have the license. Star didn't have the license. Nobody had the license. Fleer picked it up again in '86, and so and they went mainstream with that set. It was pack
Yeah.
pulled,
Oh yeah.
distributed nationally. True, nobody wanted to touch it with a 10-foot ball.
Yeah. Yeah.
um,
There's there's pictures from like 88, like 85, like 87, 88,
yeah,
when they were selling them at KB Toys for like a 10 cents a pack or something like that. Crazy.
yeah,
Now it's like, geez, if I had a time machine, you know.
I know.
But yeah, that's I mean, it's such a it's such a crazy thing, man. I didn't even put two and two together till you mentioned it right now. Is this with this whole LeBron James 2002 thing, and it's almost like the hype machine has like there's no more like coal to put in that fire,
Right.
and they got to find something.
Find
And
something.
yeah,
And
and this 86 or 84, Star card was,
is it.
kind of the little bit of coal that they were able to wrangle off the ground and shovel one more into the hype machine, and now they're trying to find, some other stuff. But that's interesting, man. The amount of the amount of stories that come out of this kind of stuff, and kind of the industry insider stuff that has probably yet to be uncovered on a lot of these things is what still is, it's like a treasure hunt,
Yeah.
just finding this information, and finding those publications like what you found in that Beckett magazine, that it's not readily available on the internet, through our searchable means these days. Everybody just quick to jump on Google and throw something on Google and hope to find it. And if it's not on Google, well then hell, it just doesn't exist.
Right.
Well, there was a lot more going on out there before, Google
Sure is.
popped up, so, but man, good stuff, Vic. I mean, I like I said, I started off, with your channel in just trying to get educated, and then went down a rabbit hole. And it's really good to have folks out there like yourself, man, that are trying to curate this information, put it into places where people can find it and have it be accessible, and then ultimately educating everybody on basically not getting burned, right? Educate yourself when you're trying to buy these cards, because I mean, let's face it, some of these cards are expensive.
Yeah.
You start getting into some of these old Hall of Famers. Right now, I'm on the hunt for a Rudy T rookie card. Because I'm a Houston boy. You're a Chicago guy, right?
Yep.
You're Bulls guy, huh? Bulls, Cubs.
Bulls. I'm a big basketball collector myself.
Oh, are you? Okay.
Yeah. Oh,
okay,
yeah. I would say between baseball and basketball, it's probably 51% baseball and 49.
Oh, right
basketball.
on. Okay.
Yeah.
I pegged you for completely 100% baseball.
No. Oh my goodness.
Oh, right on.
Big Jordan collector, obviously growing up in this area. Yeah. But
nice.
The Bulls from the we didn't miss a game for a decade, man. I mean, we were glued to our sets watching every game,
I was the same way with my Rockets in the early 90s.
Yeah.
My dad, I've told the story before, my dad's immigrated to the States, and that was his way of assimilating was was watch something, and it just happened to be basketball. He didn't take to baseball really well, but and then it also helped that me and school and things like that, I picked up basketball, and so I just kind of brought it home a little bit. But he really got into it, and so we got into watching the Rockets, and so that's always been big for me. But that's cool. I had no idea. I would have completely painted you for a baseball guy 100%. So that's pretty. Aside from Jordan, who's the PC?
It's basically rookie cards of Hall of Famers.
Okay, right on. Yeah.
Rookie cards of Hall of Famers. But I mean, I like, I'm a big PSA set registry guy. So, I have my complete set registry for Shaquille O'Neal. I need 2 more rookie cards for Kobe Bryant's set registry rookie run.
Oh, wow.
I do Tim Duncan. I'm working on his set registry. He has 18 rookie cards.
Such an underrated.
I have 13 of his 18 rookie cards for that set registry. So I have my guys that I liked, and then other than that, it's just rookie cards of Hall of Famers.
Okay. Do you get into the modern stuff at all?
I do, in the aspect of not to what I'll do is with the modern, I typically will go with a guy that I like, that I see, because I follow sports obviously quite a bit.
Yeah.
And I'll take a guy like at the end of the year, like a Fernando Tatis, unfortunately.
Yeah.
He really impressed me when he came out. And I typically don't jump on the bandwagon the first year. I'll wait to the second year. The second year he did really well. And I says, man, this guy's pretty impressive. I'm going to pick up some of his cards. And so I picked up a whole bunch from ComC of his rookie cards. I sent them to PSA. I got fantastic grades on them. And if now
congratulations. Congratulations.
Yeah, man. But I'll pick up, there's something that you can tell if you're a collector and if you're a watcher of the game. And I think so much, we don't need people's advice and people's speculation. If we just take 100%. The time to, you don't have to watch every game. Maybe watch the, MLB Network Quick Pitch. I don't miss that. Yeah. It gives me the highlights of every game every day, and I keep up with the game. And so, but you can tell when you watch a certain player when they have that it factor.
Yeah.
Look for that it factor, and that's going to really propel you to you can discern what guy is going to pop in the future. Yeah.
It's funny. So I just had this conversation with JD, because we pre-recorded a conversation yesterday, where one of the things that we talked about is how much of a fan, how much do you actually have to watch to be a collector, right? Because I was having a conversation with my brother, and he's like, he's watching me kind of sort through my cards and stuff. And I'm 90% basketball, maybe 10% football. And he's watching me sort through all my stuff. He's like, man, I really wish I could get into this stuff, man. But I don't watch sports. And it really got me to thinking. I'm like, because I wanted it, my initial knee-jerk reaction, because he's my brother. I want to tell him, hey, man, you could collect whatever you want, dude. And then he's like, yeah, but like I got no motivation to collect it. He's a huge Star Wars fan. He loves collecting Star Wars cards.
Yep.
And I love Star Wars as well too. I'm a big fan of the series, but for some reason I'm not motivated to collect in that manner that he is.
Yeah.
But I'm a huge Star Wars fan. We could talk Star Wars for hours. I've watched every bit of Star Wars content that there is out there except reading the novels. And I enjoy it as much as the next Star Wars fan. But yet I don't have the itch to collect the way that he's collecting. And I thought that to be like a very interesting, like, I don't know, like the juxtaposition, if you want to call it. But what is that thing that makes you tick, that makes you go, I'm a fan of this, and I'm so much of a fan of this that I'm going to go collect? Because I got another buddy of mine who I call Mike Stradamus, because the way that this guy talks about players at the beginning of the season, he'll talk about a player at the beginning of the season without him playing a minute of NBA basketball. And he'll go, watch that guy. And I'm like, what? He's like a 23rd round pick. Like, what are you talking about? Listen to me. Watch that guy. And I'm like, all right. The next thing you know, the kid blows out. He's averaging 15 points a night, that kind of thing. And I'm like, how did you? And he's like, I'm telling you, watch that guy. And so, but he doesn't collect. He watches basketball, I would say 10 times more than I do. But he doesn't collect. And I try to get him into it. I'm like, Mike, you can make some serious dough here, man, with the way that you prospect these guys. He's like, yeah, I don't really, the money sounds nice, but yeah, I don't really care about that kind of stuff. I love watching the game. And I'm like, dude, this will just like supplement that love for the game. And he's like, man. So it just got me to thinking, like, well, what makes us tick? And we don't have to get into that. Maybe we might get into that in another one. But
yeah,
I just thought it was an interesting like question, and I posed that question to my boy JD, and we had a little bit of a conversation about that. But it's what makes us tick, what makes us go get that card, what made you chase those Shaquille O'Neal rookie cards, those Kobe Bryant rookie cards.
Yeah,
and I couldn't answer it if you put a gun to my head.
That eye of the tiger, man. You gotta get the eye of the tiger. But I like to stay up with, I don't open a lot of product. I do, I'll get into singles on the modern stuff. I don't get too serious into it, but I do like to keep up because I want to be relevant in today's hobby. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't want to be the old guy screaming, "Get off my yard!
Get off my lawn!"
Yeah. But I want to kind of keep in the vibe of today's hobby too. So I do a little dabbling in ultra modern, but it's really 80s and 90s is really my wheelhouse.
Same.
And my set registries.
I'm so scared to get into that set registry.
Yeah, don't do it.
Because I'm telling you, man, that is the one thing that PSA does right. They do it right.
Yeah.
I mean, if you know me, you guys know I'm not the biggest fan of PSA.
Right.
But that set registry, man, is a thing of beauty. And it drives a lot of collectors to buy and to grade with them.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't, you got to talk to Pete, man, because CSG started one.
They did, right? They started one and they pulled it back out, and then we haven't really heard much about what's going on with that.
But SGC has I thought they got a pop report.
They got a pop report.
Yeah, they got pop.
They got a pop report, and then they have the where you can check the serial number and actually go online, and with the serial number is now tied to high res images. And there's some layers of I guess like they're doing it more for security purposes as opposed to like a registry, to where you were. I mean, you were pretty proud as you were talking about some of your accomplishments within that set registry, rightfully so. Mm-hmm. And I just don't think they're not producing that functionality on their website for that purpose. They're doing it for security purposes, so that that what you have in your hand matches what's on the, you know what I mean? And so that's definitely one thing that I know they've been hearing a lot about that. Hey, would you guys start a set registry? Because we would love to do that. I think they could really take some additional market share from PSA if they had something that was
And
at least comparable, you know.
And the hook is, you know, it's not only just the pursuit of the hunt, which is part of it, but that's
Right.
in all avenues of collecting.
Yeah.
But the hook is when you finally do complete one of the set registries, there's just such a feeling of accomplishment, you know, like you have climbed the mountain and you are.
I hear you, man.
And that's the dopamine rush, you know,
That's the dopamine hit.
when
That's
you
right.
enter that last card into the registry, you know.
Yeah, yeah. And that's how I am right now with my Elijah Rainbow Chase. I got 3 more cards to go.
How you doing on that? 3 more, huh?
3 more, man. I need gold to 10, black gold to 5,
Oh man.
and neon green to 5. That's it. And I am jonesing for either one of those because I picked up a 1 of 1, which was not even on the radar for me.
Wow.
I always said it. Like there's 3 1 of 1s out there, the black shimmer, and the nebula. And I said, those aren't even on my chase. I'm not even forget about it. That's never gonna happen. Because I know where one of them is. It's in Australia. And then that was it. The other 2 were unseen until one of my subscribers reached out to me and said, "Hey man, I got one. I made a deal for it." And now I'm really, now that the rush to get the other 3 has you know, tripled, so to
I'll
speak.
keep an eye out for you, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man.
I got the black, the green, and what was the other one?
The black gold, the gold, and the neon green. So the neon green is to 5, the black gold is to 5, and then the gold is to 10. And it's 2019, 2020 Prism. So any of you guys out there that find one, or you know, holler at me. I'll pretty much mortgage the house if I have to. I know that's bad for negotiation, but well, Victor, listen, man, it's been really great talking to you, man. I really appreciate you and your time. You've been generous. I appreciate what you're doing for the hobby, clearing up a lot of misconceptions and ambiguity that's out there right now. And I think what you're doing is great in terms of pushing for this rookie card reform, man. So, man, thank you for your time, and any parting words for the folks watching.
Yeah, I just, you know, thank you first of all for you know, I just think it's huge for a smaller content creator to be supported by a bigger content creator. And it's you know, I love your work as well. You know, you've been very helpful to the hobby as well with your, you know, with your PSA cataloging and all that. I've always I dive into those, you know, your content as well, and I keep up with that because that's real interesting stuff that you do there.
Yeah.
But you know, to be supported and affirmed by a bigger channel, it's always encouraging, and that's the kind of stuff that gives me the encouragement and the energy to keep going and keep doing what I'm doing. And so thank you for that.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I mean, good work is good work, man. What do you know what I mean? Like, what are you gonna do? You can't be ignored, you know. So I'm gonna link all your stuff down in the description, the channel, a couple of the videos that we mentioned here today, which are for me kind of honorable mentions off of what you have on your channel. I'll also link the website, which I'm gonna I'm supposed to be going downstairs. I'm pretty much gonna dive into this website to see what all's on there. But again, Victor, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Thank you to all of you who are watching. Probably by the time this comes out, this will probably be the first podcast episode. Maybe. I don't know. I got to figure that out. But anyway, thank you, Victor. I appreciate your time. Thank you guys for watching. I love you guys. See y'all in the next video. Peace.